Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 with another video review. Today we're going to be looking at the new Studio Series Bumblebee movie Bumblebee. This is a retool of a previously released figure. I do not have the original figure to compare them to, but from what I understand it's just some slight retooling in the torso area to make it more movie accurate. But first we'll take a look at the packaging, and here we have that Volkswagen Beetle on the front. Got Bumblebee mugshot there, deluxe class, Studio Series 116. There we got Bumblebee making, doing a pose. We got the movie logo, legal jargon, and our product shots here on the back. Got our little one-line bio. Charlie's Garage, and this one, despite just being released, does still come with the Studio Series. Get that out of the way. The backdrop. It does still come with the backdrop, even though those have now been discontinued. But you know, that's a thing if you want to use it. Just put him there, and he can hang out in Charlie's Garage. So there's that, and now I gotta go through my pile of, there it is. And we also get our lovely instructions. There's that. Get this out of the way. But there we have our Bumblebee movie Bumblebee in his robot mode. Let's take a good look at him. And he's got the headlights there done up in silver and some orange turn lights. Some gunmetal there on the legs. He does have his tail lights painted. Does have some nice blue for the eyes. The head sculpt does seem pretty detailed and very solid. I do like it. See, we do have some painted silver here on the door wings for the back windows. And the door wings can be moved up and down. They are on mushroom pegs, so you could theoretically take them off if you don't want them there. I'm personally not going to do that, but... And there's some nice mechanical detail there on the abdomen, and I think that's like his alternator right there. It's got like the belt and stuff, so. But yeah. And as far as articulation goes, his head is on a ball joint. You get plenty of movement there. Again, the door wings are on a mushroom peg, and they are also on a hinge. Shoulders are on ball joints, so you can get plenty of movement there. Elbows are also ball joints. No movement at the wrist, no waist movement. Hips are on ball joints. He does have a very deep knee bend, and it can go forward a bit for transformation. Does have, I think these are also, yeah, these are also ball joints. I should remember that because when I was transforming him they kept popping off, but and these back parts do kind of move up and down, although it doesn't really serve any purpose. But yeah, that's about it for the transformation, or for the articulation, my bad. And we'll do a couple of quick size comparisons here. Here he is next to the Rise of the Beast Camaro Bumblebee. See how they stack up. There he is next to animated Bumblebee. And here he is next to the Studio Series TF1 Bumblebee. Gotta do that review too. And just because I have him nearby, Bumblebee movie Shockwave. Yeah, there we go. And he does come with a couple accessories. He does come with his blade, his knife hand, and a gun. So for the gun, actually before I get to that, there is a way to store them in robot mode. As his knee bends the wrong way. If you take the peg here on the blade and put it into this hole underneath the gun like so, like that, and then you take this peg, you can plug it right there into his butt. He now has a butt blade. So there is that. Anyway, moving on to the part we actually care about. Oop, sorry. So for the blade, you can put it on either arm, and there's just 2 tabs on each side. Actually, I'm going to put it on this arm because... So there is his blade. And then the gun only really works on this side, so you just peg it into his hand. And now you have his gun hand. So there is that, and now he can, you know, pow 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 and slash and stab and all that good stuff. So there is that. But I think that's about it for our robot mode stuff. So we're gonna de-accessorize him and work on transformation. So first thing we're going to want to do is I usually come back here and unfold this backpack part that's the roof of the car. Just and we come here to the thighs, and we're going to pull this part open like so. Do that on both sides. And we're going to come here to this piece here, and it's sort of slightly tabbed in here in the calf. You're going to rotate that forward, and then going to take this little like shin piece right here, fold that up, and you're going to take that, the ball joint is on a hinge, and you sort of want to move it forward. There's a little divot in his foot for that hinge, or that cover piece there. You're going to sort of move that up there like so. Then you just want to line these parts up, and then you can fold out the wheel. And we're going to do the same for the other side. We're going to fold this up, untab this, and bring it around. We're going to wiggle that foot forward, and just sort of get all that snugged in. Fold out that wheel. And then we want to bend those knees forward. His legs are going to tuck up. We're going to unfold these wings, and then we're going to come here to the chest, and these gray pieces here are just tabbed into the side. So we're going to pull them out and rotate them. Then you can rotate them all the way up like so. And then I'm going to bring the arm, the shoulder piece down. I want to rotate that wheel so it's facing the correct way. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Bring it in. And then we're going to work more on that top of the car. Thought I folded this part out already, but apparently not. I'm going to fold that out, and then sort of start bringing this all up. And we want to bring the front of the car forward, and then we want to make sure that these chest bumper pieces are angled properly as we bring down the hood, because that's gonna all fit together. And then just sort of gonna start finagling all this stuff together. Make sure that we tab the feet together, Make sure that these pieces are tabbed in to each other properly, and there's a lot of fiddling with all these panels. So push that all up in there. You want to make sure that these two little tabs on the back plug into this bumper area. As you can see, it doesn't really all like to go together until you sort of force everything together. And make sure that these pieces are pushed as far in as they'll go. Bring this over. Let's see. And I'll make sure that the hood of the car tabs in too. Yeah, it's just sort of, this part is just sort of finickily putting all the tabs and panels together. But once they actually start to hook into each other, they usually hold. And a couple things to note is you want to make sure that this bit of the door goes behind the wheel well right here. You can sort of see here. You want it to snap behind the wheel well as it proceeds to not do that. There we go. And now this whole section's untabbed. Hooray for Studio Series. There's always something. Okay, I think I got everything secured there. And now for the arms, you're gonna have them facing like so that the arm panel is down, and there are these little tabs right here on the side of his wrist that are gonna hook into that divot in his hip there. Just gonna sort of push that down like that. Like that. And then it'll also tab in right here into the side of the wheel well. But yeah. And now it's mostly together and should hold okay. And as you can see, there's all sorts of fun stuff that really just doesn't want to cooperate. Pretty standard for Studio Series movie Bayverse stuff at this point. It's one of the reasons I'm not the biggest fan of the Bayverse designs, because they just aren't practical as figures, and that's the part I really enjoy about the franchise. Anyway, yeah, that's about as good as it's gonna get. And yeah, there we have him in his Volkswagen mode. He does sort of roll, kinda. And then we can still store his weapons. Again, you just tab them together like before, and then this opening in the blade will go over these two pegs on the bumper like so, and it'll just sort of sit there on his butt again, on his car butt. But there is that. And we'll do a couple more size comparisons. Here we have, and next to B127 is Cybertronian mode. So there is that. And here he is with the retro Bumblebee / Netflix Bumblebee from Walmart. And yeah, definitely a lot cleaner as far as how it holds together. But what are you gonna do? And I think that's the only vehicle mode ones that I brought over. Well, we technically have this. Here he is next to an Insecticon as I knock people off the table. Yeah. But yeah, stuff. So yeah, there's just an idea of how he holds up. I mostly got this because I did not have the original mold, and you know, I don't hate the Bumblebee movie design. I actually like it better than the main Bayverse design. Yeah, I do really like. You can see how much this is like just barely holding together, especially on this side. It's just not the best. He's definitely going to stay displayed in robot mode for me. I doubt I'm going to mess with him too much. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not in love with it. Yeah, not sure what else to really say there. This is definitely a better Volkswagen mold. Honestly, I still think the out of the recent ones we've gotten, the Studio Series 86 is probably the best Bumblebee, closely followed by the TF1 Bumblebee that just came out, which I'm going to do a review for soon. But yeah, it's okay. But I think that's about it for this review, so I think we'll just go ahead and wrap things up here. And this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.